Ghana.
Cameroon.
Oh, so you guys speak French there too, right?
Yeah.
You got the wait. You got the virus. You're gonna die in 2 days. I thought these guys were with. Wait.
The change button. That's what
Well, my question. Well, the main reason I asked that question is because Jesus prayed a lot, right?
Correct.
What was he praying for? Christians, when I was part of my old church, they never asked that question.
He was praying to the one who sent him.
Yeah.
You can only pray to someone higher than you.
Yeah, but what was he praying for?
He was praying for him first to have the strength
Right.
to finish what he came to do, and he was praying for his disciple to continue what they were supposed to do, and he was praying also for the Holy Spirit to come and strengthen us to continue as well. Yeah.
I agree with all that, and for power to heal.
Yeah.
Because Jesus says, of myself, I can do nothing.
Yeah.
So all the power he got, he had to ask God for.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Doesn't that make sense? If Jesus says I can do nothing of myself, that means all the power he got was from God.
Well, he didn't have to ask, but God gave it to him because when he got baptized, they said that
The Holy Spirit, a dove, like the Holy Spirit comes to him.
came to him and it entered into him. So because he's his son, he doesn't really have to ask. There's a time and place for everything for Jesus. Now, for King Solomon, he asked for wisdom.
Correct?
Because he's not Jesus, so he had to ask. And God, as long as he asks, God will,
Give.
give.
Yeah, but earlier we were talking about that Jesus was praying a lot. Even before he started his ministry, I'm sure he was praying a lot. And when he felt ready, then he started. But what was he praying for? He was praying for, he mentioned a lot of reasons, good reasons, but I think the main reason he was praying for God's love to come into him and his power, God's love and power to come into him, because then he could do the miracles.
Well, yeah, but in order to talk to God, he prayed. So he was just talking to his
But
Father.
it's not just talking, that's part of it, but it's also asking.
But
That's what
asking.
prayer means, asking
Yeah,
for
well,
something.
asking. But the thing is that, like I said, for him to get the power, there's a time and place for everything. And he got the power when he got baptized. He got that was like his blessing. His blessing.
Baptism was just the symbol to show first the new way to go back to the Father.
Yeah.
And secondly, to get the power, as you say, from the Father to start his mission.
That that's what I mean by timing. It's like there was a time and a place for everything. And then like when he was about to get crucified, he asked that he continue his work. And God said no. Now is your time to go, to be crucified, for you to be sacrificed, for you to take away the sins. And Jesus understood that even though more work had to be done, his time was ended, and someone else would have to take his place. 12 disciples.
I would have to disagree with that because
In order for our sins to be taken away, Jesus had to sacrifice and be the sacrificial lamb. His blood would have to be shed.
so then why in the Lord's Prayer did he say, did he tell people, pray to God for your sins to be forgiven? That was way before that so-called blood atonement.
Okay, but the blood atonement had to be offered. That way, when you pray for your sins to be forgiven, Jesus was there to
Effectuate it.
Yeah, it's like that offering was made by Jesus. So all you have to do is just ask, and everything's forgiven.
But Jesus taught people way before his so-called blood atonement to pray to God for forgiveness. Right?
Yeah, but like I said, everything's got a time. And when he died, that's when the new covenant started.
But it can't be. It can't be because in the Lord's Prayer, Jesus was teaching people to ask God for forgiveness.
How would you know what to do? Like I said, how would you know what to do if Jesus died and he wasn't there to tell you? He had to tell you while he was still alive what to do. That way, when he died,
Where are the garbage cans?
everything's in the fact. He can't tell you when he's dead.
That would be the next signs on the week.
Yeah, but when he's alive, he can tell everybody. The Spirit only comes one person at a time.
So when people heard Jesus say that, people pray to God for Him to forgive your sins. What if, and could they take Him at His word?
Yeah.
So they could go and start praying to God for forgiveness.
Yeah.
After they heard Jesus say that.
Yeah.
So they could get forgiveness.
Yeah. But
So then what was the need for a blood atonement?
because there's still sin in the world.
No, that doesn't matter. If they took Jesus at His word, that means the next day or the same hour they could have went home, prayed for forgiveness. That's long before the cross.
You have to remember that before Christ came, all sins were punishable of death. There is
Not every sin. Some sins.
some sins, yes.
Yeah, okay, but know what I think that this story is that before Jesus died, in order to be forgiven, he had to do the sacrifices in the temple.
Well, if you were Jewish.
Yeah, if you're Jewish, but a lot of people he was talking to were Jewish, and the temple was still there, so you had to go to the temple to do the offerings. But when he died, it became official that you didn't need to go to the temple; so you needed to give an offering. All you had to do was pray to God, because He was the.
It wasn't official until then, because even after when Christ left, Peter was still going to the temple doing sacrifice. You can read it in Acts 20 when Paul went to finish his vow, the Nazarene vow, when he came back from his mission. It was only when the temple was destroyed by the Roman Empire in 70 AD that all sacrifices ceased, because there was no priest anymore and there was no temple anymore to do those sacrifices.
But I think that was probably God's will that it be destroyed.
Yes, of course.
But you got to remember something too. In Romans 7, I think it says if you live in the flesh, you have to go by the Mosaic rule.
No, I do agree that we don't have to make sacrifices today anymore.
No.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying
that.
and he understood that Paul understood some people were still doing the sacrifices and so following the old ways.
Yeah.
And so he said in Romans 7, if you live in the flesh, then the Mosaic law still Mosaic law still cover you. But with Jesus, you're living under grace, and there's no need for that. So he's trying to explain to people that if you believe in Jesus, you don't have to be like Peter and go to the temple and do the offerings. All you have to do is just pray, you're under grace, and you can be forgiven.
But wait a second, you're saying in Acts that Peter, does it specifically say that he was offering sacrifices?
I mean Paul, I said Paul. Yeah.
I don't think it says he was specifically offering.
I can read it for you.
Can you read that? I remember that something about that verse, but I haven't read it in a long time.
Yeah, no problem. So
it's so loud here, man. I hate that. I like this corner, but it's so loud.
I think now more people are coming out. And it's just a month ago it was better.
Yeah, of course, because of the fake virus.
Yeah, well, not that no fewer people were down there because of all this crap going on.
Hold on, let me get it.
I haven't read that verse in a long time.
Okay, so this is Act 21, verse 20. It says, and when they heard it, they glorified the Lord and said unto him, thou seest, brother, how many thousands of Jews there are which believe, and they are all zealous of the law. And they are informed of thee, that thou teachest all the Jews which are among the Gentiles to forsake Moses, saying that they are not to circumcise their children, neither to walk after the customs. So here is Paul coming back to Jerusalem, and the apostle came to him telling him what the accusation was against him, that he was teaching to the Gentiles not to keep the laws and not to circumcise. Now here's the advice that they are giving to Paul to do in order to show everybody that he's not teaching that. So verse 22 is saying, what is it therefore? The multitude must needs come together, for they will hear that thou art come. Do therefore this, that we say to thee, we have 4 men which have a vow on them. Which vow? The vow of Nazarene. Don't shave your heads. You don't drink You don't drink strong drink. You don't expose yourself to dead bodies, etc. Verse 24. Them take and purify thyself with them, and be at charge with them, that they may shave their heads, and all may know that those things whereof they were informed concerning thee are nothing, but thou thyself also walkest orderly and keepest the law. So they are asking Paul to do these things to show to all the Jews that he also is keeping the laws. Let's see what Paul is going to do. Verse 25. As touching the Gentiles which believe, we have written and concluded that they observe no such thing, save only that they keep themselves from things offered to idols, and from blood, and from strangles, and fornication. Then Paul took the men, and the next day, purifying himself with them, entered into the temple to signify the accomplishment of the days of purification, until that an offering should be offered for every one of them. So the next day, Paul went into the temple, he shaved his head, he made the sacrifices to accomplish the vow.
Offerings.
Yes.
But not all offerings were sacrifices. Some were offerings of grain, some were other
This
things.
specifically, you have to sacrifice animal and shave your heads.
But it doesn't say that.
I can go back into the Old Testament and show you the vow of Nazarene, how it was performed.
Well, if that's true, then Paul was still immature. Because if he believed that Jesus did away with sacrifices on the cross, then he went backwards.
But Paul never teach that. And he's doing this exactly because it's not what he was teaching. Because the apostles didn't force him to do it. He chose to do it.
Okay, he chose to
go into the temple
to make an animal sacrifice.
Yes. He could have just said, no, I'm not doing it, because that's not what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, but in all his letters, he preached against the law, that we don't need to keep the law.
No, I can read you in Romans.
He says, I'm not under the law.
No, let me read to you in Romans.
Galatians.
Yeah. You see, there is a lot of misunderstanding in what Paul was saying and what we listen. Because if we study carefully what Paul was teaching, Paul was the apostle of the Gentile, right?
Yeah.
The Gentiles have a Gentile mindset. They are not about keeping the laws. They are about doing what they like to do. So Paul went there because first, he was one of them. He was born in Rome.
Yeah.
He was a Jew and have a citizenship as a Roman. So he knew both sides. He knew how to maneuver between those two people to gain them, because the purpose was to gain souls, not to put other burden on them. So that's why the apostle in Acts 21, they say, for the Gentile which believe, we didn't ask them to do the same. We just recommended not to eat blood, not to sacrifice to idols, to restrain themselves from fornication, and so forth. So when we go to Romans 6, talking about Paul, when you say he was teaching not to keep the law,
he said, I am not under the law.
Yeah. Let's see something. Hold on.
And God made it's never nowhere in the Bible.
Okay.
He says that. I'm God, he said. No, that's not true.
How are you, man? Everything good?
I like the conversation.
You like the conversation?
Yeah.
That's good. We are here to speak, all right? We are here to
study.
Yeah, let me get it, sorry. It is Romans 3. Verse 1, Romans 3. What advantage then has the Jew? Or what profit is there of circumcision? Much every way. Chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of God. For what, if some did not believe, shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect? God forbid. Yea, let God be true, but every man a liar. As it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. So Paul is saying, there is an advantage of being circumcised, and there is an advantage of being a Jew. It means that he is saying that there is an advantage of keeping the laws, because circumcision is a commandment, all right?
So we should be circumcised now? All Christian men should be circumcised?
Are we not on the same covenant as Abraham?
No.
No?
No.
Didn't Christ came under the lineage of Abraham?
Yeah, but
Was Christ circumcised?
Yeah, because he was under the law at the time. But later, when he showed the new covenant, we didn't need to be.
What is the new covenant?
Well, being born again.
How do you born again?
We pray to God for God's love and power to come into you.
Okay.
And to become divine.
Let's go to Matthew 5 then, and let's see what Christ is saying. If he's not under the law, or if he never kept the law.
Yeah, he said. Yeah, I know you're going to say Jesus didn't come to do away with the law, but to fulfill it.
Okay. What does that mean?
Well, the law was lacking, right? If it needed to be fulfilled, then it was lacking something.
No, fulfill means I'm coming to do what I'm supposed to do. That's what fulfill means. It means that you have something to do and you are coming to fulfill it.
Yeah, but that means before that it's not fulfilled.
It's not still fulfilled because he has to come back.
No, before that. The first time he came.
Yeah.
It says he came to fulfill the law.
Meaning dying on the cross for the sin of the world, to redeem the souls and give them the grace. That's what he came to fulfill.
No. He came to teach people how to be born again. Which is a very important question. How did Jesus teach people to be born again when he was alive?
Be baptized of the water?
No. Water doesn't change you.
How do you born again?
By praying to God's love and power to come into you.
So you don't need to be baptized?
No.
Really?
Guys, this guy's a different Christian. Tell him.
You don't need to be baptized?
No. It was
not necessary?
It was a transition. It was a transitionary thing.
Okay. Let me show you that baptism is the first step in order to say you are born again. If you're not baptized, don't expect.
You're saying John 3, right? Where Jesus says, unless you're born of the Spirit and water.
Of course.
Is that what you're saying?
Which water?
That's spiritual water, the living water.
Where is it?
In the next chapter, chapter 4.
Did the apostle baptize?
The apostles?
Did Christ was baptized?
Christ was baptized.
Why?
Well, it says so. John says that he might be manifest to the world.
Okay.
That's why he was baptized. So it was like an official ceremony to tell the world.
Okay. Hold on. Okay.
Right?
Hold on.
John 1:33.
Yeah.
It says why Jesus was baptized.
What is the Great Commission?
Commission.
Yeah. When Christ was going into the heaven, what did he say to the apostles to do?
Oh, Matthew 28. Teach the world.
Verse 19, Matthew 28, He says, Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you.
And did you know that the first church historian, Eusebius, writing around the 300s, says that was not in the earliest text. That was added. That verse was added by the church fathers who were in love with water baptism.
Really?
Read Eusebius.
So, who do we believe? Christ or Eusebius?
Christ.
So, are we baptizing?
No, we don't need to.
Christ says to baptize. Eusebius is saying no.
Christ didn't say baptize.
Can you read?
But I'm saying that's an addition.
So I'm asking you, who do we believe? Eusebius or what I'm reading? Which is Christ speaking?
But how do you know that's not a corruption? How do you know?
How do you know that it is?
Because it's not found in the earliest manuscripts.
I can find you many.
No. The earliest manuscripts do not have that verse in it.
Okay.
If you have a proof,
Yeah.
you can show. But if
Thank
you
you.
don't have a proof,
Thank you.
cannot
But
say it's
that's a
bad
known
Thank
fact.
you. Thank
That's
you.
a known fact.
No, it's not a known fact. I don't know it.
Amongst
Has a
Bible
Bible?
scholars.
I know
Has a Bible?
because even Muslims baptize. Do you know that?
Muslims don't baptize.
They do.
Do they?
They do.
Do they baptize? He doesn't know.
What is baptizing?
Yes.
Water, like
Baptismos is a Greek word meaning dip into the water. That's what baptism
it
is.
doesn't have to mean water. It just means dipping or being immersed into something.
What's the meaning of baptizing?
Being immersed in the water. That's what baptism means.
Could be water.
What's the meaning? Why you have to use water?
It is the symbolism of dying and be born again.
Amen.
That's what baptism is.
Amen.
You are deep into the water, you die, your old man stay in the water, and the new man comes out.
renew yourself
And then
by
you
being
receive
born
the Holy
again.
Spirit. That's how you born
No,
again.
but in Acts it says some believers received the Holy Spirit before baptism.
But they were
Acts
still
chapter 7.
they were still baptized after that.
After they were. But,
Yeah.
but you said you have to.
But how?
To be baptized, you have to get.
Why do you need to be baptized again when you have the Holy Spirit? It means baptism
You don't need.
is the foundation to be born again.
Look, I believe I'm born again. And if I die now without being water baptized, am I going to hell? They teach you
I'm not the Most High God to send you into hell. I can only read to you what the Bible says. Is that fair for you?
But we know that God would not send someone to hell for not being baptized.
No, we don't know that.
God is not a monster, my
No,
friend.
we don't know that. Because Christ came and said, baptize all nations.
No, that's a corruption.
No, he didn't. The Mosaic Law, why wasn't Moses baptized? Why wasn't Abraham baptized? Why wasn't Daniel baptized? It has to apply to everybody. Remember, Jesus said these things have to apply for everybody. And these guys never did these things.
Do you
Moses
know?
never got baptized.
Do you know that the priests in the temple before to be a priest they have to be baptized? Do you know that?
They were not baptized. Where does it say Abraham was baptized?
They were baptized.
Where does it say it? In the Old
What?
Testament.
In the Old
Yeah,
Testament?
where?
That we were baptized?
That Abraham, Moses, Daniel was baptized.
I'm talking to you about the priest, not Abraham. Yes,
No, but
there is no way in the Bible where you're going to see Abraham be baptized or Isaac or Jacob.
Right, so it has to apply for everybody. This is the point. Just doesn't Jesus said?
No, hold
everybody
on,
has to
hold
be
on.
born again.
Jesus said he's the way, the truth, and the life. No one goes to the Father but by him. So when he say baptize, I baptize.
But where does it say that I am the way, the truth, and the life? No one comes to the Father but by me in the Old Testament. Why don't we have that verse?
Well, it wasn't
Doesn't say
revealed
that.
yet.
Where do we have that in the Old Testament?
Yeah,
You don't,
it has,
you don't.
It has to apply to the old and the new.
No, it wasn't
Hang
revealed
on,
yet.
wait.
Yeah.
Why does it have to apply in the Old and the New?
Because the same God wrote it, so it has to be consistent.
Why?
Why? Why? Because it says John.
Okay, so you tell me the new way.
Well,
Apparently you know
no,
better.
but it doesn't. Well, I'm asking a question. It doesn't say that. In
No,
the
I'm telling you what is written. You saying no, so I'm asking you which is the new way now.
Okay. Well, then it doesn't apply because the Jews did not know this, right? They didn't have.
So
any-
didn't Christ was a Jew?
So what?
So what? What do you mean? He
So
was
what?
a Jew, all right?
So what?
And many Jews went after him, all right?
That means nothing. It's what the Bible says. Just because you're a Christian, and if I'm a Christian and I go into Zanzibar, right? Well, I'm a Christian, but you know what? I decided to go to a strip club. Wait.
Christian is not a race of people. It is a group of believers. Jew
Right.
is a race of
Right.
people.
No, it's not.
That's different.
This nation also, it says scripture that...
No, Christians are not a nation of people. Christians are believers.
But where,
in something.
where in Old
nation also,
Testament?
Well,
Sorry?
in a figure of
Where in
speech.
Old
In a figure of
Testament
speech.
says that
Yeah.
But
Jesus
It does
there,
say that, it
or
does say
Jesus
that.
you cannot
is
say
God. Where in Old
figure of
Testament
speech.
says?
This Bible
Jesus
says-
is not God. And the Old Testament never
Well-
said Jesus is God.
Why not?
Oh, I'll get back to that.
In
Because the
Old
Old Testament says it's not God.
Yeah, well, because they're
And
not-
he himself says it's not God.
Right. So obviously it had to apply in the beginning, right?
No,
What do you mean no? Wait, hang on.
it wasn't revealed yet. Not everything is
No,
revealed
there-
right away.
No, there's no progressive revelation.
Why not? How do you know?
Because
How do you know?
Because it started with Moses,
Yeah.
and it ended with Moses. Then
No,
it ended
no,
with
no, no.
John. That's something that, first of all, even if the
Okay, let me show you something. Proverbs 30, verse 4. Who has ascended up to heaven, or descended? Who has gathered the wind in his fist? Who has bound the waters in a garment? Who has established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? And what is his son's name, if thou canst tell? So what is the Son of God's name? And this is David speaking. So if they knew the Son of God back then, why not in the New Testament they knew that he was coming? So who is that Son?
Proverbs 30.
Proverbs 30 and 4. Yeah. Who is that Son?
Okay. Where does it say Jesus in that verse?
No, I'm asking you, who is that Son?
Hang on, but I'm asking you a question.
Yeah.
Because it has to go by proof.
Okay,
Wait.
I can prove to you that it's Jesus. I just have to go back to the New Testament and prove to you. Is that fair to you? Can I go into the New Testament and prove to you?
Because in the Old Testament it doesn't say Jesus, so it's irrelevant.
First of all, his name is not Jesus because the letter J is not in the Hebrew.
Okay, what was his name?
His name is Jasher, which means Savior.
Okay. Now, do you know there's 38 different names of Yeshua in the Old Testament?
Of who?
Of Yeshua. You know
38 names.
Yes.
Variations.
Yes. You know Yeshua?
But definitely Jesus is not his name. Definitely.
Right. Okay, so have you heard of Yeshua ben Nun? You know who that is?
Yeshua ben Nun?
Yeah, who is that?
Yeshua, the son of Nun?
Yes. You know
The servant of Moses?
Yeah, you know who he was?
Yeah, he was the servant of Moses.
Who was he? What was his name?
Moses' name?
No, the servant of Moses. The servant of
Joshua.
No, his name was Joshua.
Yeah, Joshua, the son of Nun.
That was not Jesus Christ.
Nobody says it is.
No, I'm just saying. There's many different names. There's a common name in those things.
Okay, yeah.
I said yes.
Right.
Yeah, but so what? So what?
Well, because people get confused.
No, look.
I don't want to see you.
The point is, I read Proverbs 30 and 4, and I asked you, who is that Son? Who is that Son?
Who is that son?
Yeah.
It's not talking about Jesus. You know that.
Okay, who is that Son?
Could be talking about the Israel's firstborn. Israel, Exodus 4:22. Go read it. When Israel, Hosea 6:6. When Israel was a child, I loved him.